I came home the day I met Trump, and I gave my son a MAGA hat, and I said, I guess we're there. And he said, ew. His first words to me were, ew. I said, but Baba, he said he's going to stop the war. And he said, okay, that's it. Give me that hat. We're voting for Trump. And that's the sentiment, not just of an 8-year-old, but of an entire community. If you're going to stop the war, even if I don't like you, I'm on your team.
Plans have been drafted on behalf of the Trump administration for what they intend to do with Gaza. They want to ethnically cleanse the Gaza Strip of Palestinians so that they can bring it under American control for a period of 10 years, turning it into a tech and tourism hub to line their pockets with. And Palestinians who do not agree to leave voluntarily will be put into secure zones, aka concentration camps. America wants to push people into actual fucking concentration camps so that they can turn Gaza, a place that has just experienced one of the worst genocides of our time, into a tech and tourism hub.
So a pro-Trump group called Arab Americans for Trump just announced that they will be changing their name to Arab Americans for Peace after Donald Trump proposed taking over Gaza and redeveloping it to turn it into the Riviera of the Middle East. So here's what the group's leader said as to why they are dropping the For Trump from their name and changing it to For Peace. Quote, "The talk about what the president wants to do with Gaza, obviously, we're completely opposed to the idea of the transfer of Palestinians from anywhere in historic Palestine. And so we did not want to be behind the curve in terms of pushing for peace because that has been our objective from the very beginning. Yet, if that was your objective from the beginning, then why were you supporting a guy who wanted to enact a Muslim ban and who was so transparently obvious inciting completely against the Palestinian people? Like, whether or not you supported Kamala Harris was one thing, but there is no denying that she was more benevolent to the Palestinian people than Donald Trump. It's unfortunate that it took Donald Trump saying he wants to level Gaza for this group to realize that supporting Donald Trump may not have been in the best interests of the Palestinian people.
You guys remember I told you a few days ago that President Trump was having a special meeting at the White House to discuss what was going on in Gaza. Well, now Steve Witkoff says that this war will be over by 2026 one way or another. And there are rumors that a 6-page proposal is circulating that America will take over Gaza for 10 years and turn it into a really nice tourist destination. So in order to do that, you have to get the people that are living there off of it. So America is talking about giving the Palestinians a stipend to move somewhere else, or they will have to stay in a secured zone in Gaza. Side note, if you want to go on vacation to a place where the land is soaked with children's blood, something is really wrong with you. Also, remember that President Trump is going to give his first address to the UN General Assembly on September 23rd, Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets. However, the Trump administration has revoked all of the visas of the Palestinian leadership, so they cannot be in attendance at this General Assembly. And normally you would want diplomats and leaders from warring countries to participate so they can kind of work it out. But it seems like we knew that this was going to be the gist all along, and I am terribly sorry for the Palestinian people and the people in Gaza who are going to be the human sacrifices in this. God bless, and may God have mercy on America.
The U.S. just banned Palestinians from receiving visas. The Trump administration has suspended approval for nearly all types of visitor visas for anyone holding a Palestinian passport. That prevents Palestinians from receiving temporary visas for anything, including university studies, medical treatment, visiting friends and family, business travel. And that is for any Palestinian holding a passport issued by the Palestinian Liberation Organization. That includes Palestinians in Gaza, in the West Bank, Palestinians in diaspora. Every single one of these groups are people disenfranchised by Israel and by the United States' material support of Israel. People who were displaced and stateless, and we are treating them like criminals. We're treating them like terrorists. And this all comes after the U.S.'s decision to stop issuing visas for Palestinian children fleeing Gaza for medical care. You know, children who were coming to the U.S. through organizations like Heal Palestine because their limbs were blown off or because they needed emergency surgery that they could only get in the U.S. We've decided to no longer issue them visas or give them medical care after we funded their bombing and displacement. And additionally, just this week, we decided to bar any visa approval for any member of the Palestinian delegation that was set to come to the U.S. for the UN meeting in New York next month. I mean, how are we going to have the UN General Assembly meet in the U.S. to discuss Palestinian statehood and then not invite any Palestinians to attend? The entire Palestinian government was barred from attending this crucial meeting. And now we've suspended travel to the U.S. for literally any Palestinian holding a Palestinian passport. These new restrictions are racist, they're xenophobic, they're Islamophobic, they are point-blank bigoted and in support of a genocidal regime.
Donald Trump is planning to take over Gaza. Why? My name is Lick. In today's video, we are going to talk about how Gaza is going to become tourist attraction made by America. Remember that? Credit goes to the owner of the video. We got a more video like this. Let's jump into it. I will come back with a comment.
Trump is quite literally never joking. And it doesn't matter if it takes a week or a month or a year. He always proves that when he says something that sounds really, really crazy and so off the wall that nobody would ever actually take it seriously until it happens. And that's what's happening in Gaza right now. They're working on plans. They've had plans drawn up to turn the Gaza Strip into a tourist hub and tech epicenter. They want to offer 4 years of subsidized rent for Gazans that just voluntarily leave the place. Leave behind your homeland. Give up your land. We'll give you a digital token. We'll definitely give you that land back after we develop on it. The Riviera of the Middle East, like just another crappy bankrupted Trump property at the end of the day. Can you imagine being starved, bombed for years and years and years, and then someone like Donald Trump says, hey, here's $5,000 if you leave voluntarily, and I'll maybe give you some food for a little while too. I bet you're hungry.
لا ولا يمكن ولا في منه الكلام هذا على الفاضي على الفاضي يحكي اللي بده اياه يحكي اللي بده اياه احنا مزروعين في الارض هذه
ما حدا بيبعدنا عن غزه
ولا حد الحمد لله
يعني ايش بنحكي لترامب
يعدل حاله أكثر من هيك
وليأخذ ترامب وليأخذ كل العالم نحن أصحاب هذه الأرض نقول لترامب وللعالم ولكل الدنيا نحن الفلسطينيون أصحاب هذه الأرض قبل 1948 لم يكن شيئا اسمه إسرائيل لم يكن هناك شيئا اسمه إسرائيل الآن يأتي ترامب أو يأتي من يقول ارحلوا عن هذه البلد عن أرضنا لا وليأخذ ترامب وليأخذ كل العالم نحن أصحاب هذه الأرض رويناها بدمائنا وبأنفسنا ولن نتخلى عنها ومن روي بالدماء لا يمكن أن نتخلى عنه أبدا هذه الأرض جبلت بدماء الشهداء ودماء الأبطال فلن نتخلى عن هذه الأرض.
ليش بتحكي لترامب اليوم؟
يحس فينا ويحس في شعبنا، ليش احنا مش كباقي الشعوب احنا يعني ان حد يعيش في وطنه الواحد ويرتاح في بيته ويرتاح ونعيش كباقي الشعوب يعني.
ما حدا بيبعدنا عن غزة.
ولا حد، الحمد لله.
طب قديش بتحبي غزة؟
شو كيف بدي بحب غزة؟ يعني شو بدي اقول لك زي الاطفال اللي بقول لك قد البحر.
اليوم انت راجع على غزة.
ليش طبيعي إن يومين نايمين هنا عشان نروح على غزة.
وفي مين بده يطلعنا منها اليوم ترامب؟
لا ولا يمكن ولا في منه الكلام هذا على الفاضي احنا مزروعين فيها الارض هذه.
سمعت الاخبار؟
على الفاضي يحكي اللي بده اياه يحكي اللي بده اياه احنا مزروعين في الارض هذه بنعيش وبنموت فيها لو بنطلع كنا طلعنا زمان.
طب قديش انت متمسك بارضك؟
ايش متمسك؟ روحي ارضي هذه وكان جاياني فيزا برا ضلتني في البلد هذه وعشت في البلد هذه واتجوزت في البلد هذه.
يعني غزة بتعني لك كثير؟
ايش طبيعي في مثل عندنا بيقولوا من بيطلع من داره بينقل مقداره. هذه الارض ارضنا لا ترام ولا غير ترام بيقدر يطلعنا منها.
بدنا ناكل رمل، بدنا نضل في قلب الارض.
يعني ايش بنحكي لترامب؟
يعدل حاله اكثر من هيك.
هذه ارضنا.
ارضنا وارض جدودنا.
The world, because of what is happening to their country Gaza, they were refusing Trump proposal when he say Gaza, I'm going to make it most attraction tourist place in Middle East. But people from Gaza, they say we cannot leave our land just like that because of 5,000 US dollars.
Trump's remarks are very outrageous.
Obviously what he said is ridiculous and it would never happen.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
I'm here in Dearborn, the largest Arab majority city in the US, and the war in Gaza was a deciding factor in the presidential election here. In this largely liberal city, President Trump won, and that was a big deal. We came here to speak to the Arab American community to find out how they feel about President Trump's comments about taking over Gaza.
I voted third party. I think it's unlawful and delusional for him to think that he can displace Gazan people from Palestine, and that is calling for ethnic cleansing.
I voted for Donald Trump. The initial reason why I voted for him was that he promised to bring stability to the Middle East and, to focus more of our resources on our country.
Do you regret voting for Trump?
I feel like I do and I don't. It's like mixed feelings, because I feel like if I did vote for Kamala or I didn't vote at all, my vote would have went to waste. She might have won, and I don't think that it was in her best interest to have a ceasefire.
No one should be shocked by it. This guy's illiterate. He's never read a book about Palestine or maybe a book about anything.
How did you vote in November?
Stein.
Why did you choose not to vote for Trump or Harris?
If the Democrats would have won the White House, no one would have ever listened to us ever again. They would have said these people cry wolf, they'll eventually come around, or their votes don't mean anything. We couldn't let that be the case.
He prays like he's going to help Gaza. On other hand, he's banning Palestinian people to go to USA. Can you imagine? What's people from Gaza passport they are using? It's really crazy. You can imagine moving your family and then come back after 10 years. I don't know what the plan of Trump he has, but it sounds weird. Thank you for today's video. I hope you like it. Comment, share. See you on another one.